Whether you realize it or not, people make a split-second judgment about your brand the moment they land on your website. And we want them to make the decision to stick around rather than the decision to click away, right? That's why in this video, I'm going to break down the exact strategies that you need to implement on your website to build both instant and lasting credibility. Now, maybe you're wondering, what exactly is credibility when it comes to a website? Well, in my opinion, it's the trust that people place in you based on how you present yourself online. It's the feeling of confidence that they get when they see your website and think, yes, this is the person or business that can help me. Credibility can mean the difference between a visitor clicking away or becoming your next loyal customer. It's about creating a lasting first impression that leads to more opportunities, more sales, a stronger and more trusted brand. But instead of just sitting here and telling you with this silly little mic to keep your colors simple or use clean fonts, I want to actually show you what credibility looks like in action. So I'm going to share my screen and walk you through the website homepages of a couple household name brands like SoulCycle, Taylor Swift, and Monday.com, and show you exactly what I think they're doing right and how you can apply the same strategies to your own website. We'll tackle it in 3 different segments: visual credibility, messaging credibility, and proof-based or testimonial credibility. And by the way, this is part 4 of my 7 Days to Website Success series, where I'm breaking down the actionable strategies to turn your website into a powerful tool for your brand and business. There is a free workbook that goes along with this series, so you can take notes and take action rather than just sitting back and listening to me. We like action around here because that is what creates results. You can download it at katherineforbes.com/7days. Do that and let's dive in. To get right into it with our visual credibility element, let's look at SoulCycle and Taylor Swift. First up, I want to talk about fonts and colors because I see a lot of people when they're first creating their brand identity or first creating their website and doing it all themselves, that they come up with these really fancy and elaborate fonts and a color palette that looks like the rainbow. And I want to drive a point home that when you simplify, it actually makes things look more professional. So here on SoulCycle, you can see they use black and white and gray and yellow. That's it. Over here on Taylor Swift, she has this like beige and I don't know if you want to call that brown, and that's really it. Maybe like a lighter version of the logo color here, and that's it. Like when I think of Taylor Swift, I think of the rainbow, but her website does not reflect that. So a website should be very clean and simple when it comes to colors and fonts. So my advice is to always have 5 colors for your website: white, light, an accent color, and then a dark and a black. So here we've got white. I'm guessing they probably have like a light gray somewhere. They've got yellow, they've got this darker gray up here at the top, and black. It falls right exactly into my guidelines for colors. For fonts, like I said, I see people really trying to get creative and playful with their fonts, thinking that picking a brand font honestly has more weight than it really does, or it should. If we look at SoulCycle, honestly their logo is just all caps, simple text, and all the text on their page is the most simple, straightforward text you could ever see, or font that you could ever see. And to prove this to you, if I come into developer mode and inspect the elements here, if I hover over this, you can see this is Helvetica New. This is Helvetica New. The font here on their button is Helvetica New. Let's see. Helvetica New. Everything on this homepage is Helvetica New, okay? You don't have to get crazy with fonts. Pick something that people can read, that people's eyes don't have to adjust to read, and just run with it. If you want to get creative later, go for it. Or if you want to have a scripty or playful font, and make sure you use it sparingly, okay? If I come over to Taylor Swift's website, I said 5 colors. I don't know if I've said 2 fonts yet. 2 fonts is usually my rule of thumb. If I inspect her site, if we come to her menu navigation, I hope I'm saying this right, this font is called Big Caslon. You can see here her button is the Nitty typewriter. This header, the store header, is Big Caslon. This button is Nitty typewriter. We come down here to some the title text, Big Caslon. This little text down here, Big Caslon. You don't have to go crazy, and you should not go crazy with fonts. Pick 2, like Taylor has done, 1 for your header and 1 for your body, or 1 for your buttons like she's done, and no more, okay? That's it. Building credibility is about being clean and simple and professional. My next point on the visual credibility item is your images. Your images need to, of course, be very professional if you are going to try to gain someone's credibility immediately. I personally would like to see more of this SoulCycle picture up here at the top, but it is obviously a professionally taken picture, as is, of course, Taylor's picture up here. When I am building a website for a client, the first thing that I ask for, and that I will not start a website project without, are images. You need to invest in professional images if you want to build credibility with your website. It's non-negotiable, it's a must. The other thing here is just consistency. They use things consistently throughout their site. It's not just here on their homepage. And they also reflect all of this visual branding in their social media and everywhere outside their website. And you need to be thinking and doing the same. That's why in the workbook I have places for you to write down your color codes, write down your fonts, so that you can use this workbook as your brand guidelines. So when you are creating any type of visual for your brand, you can refer to this and create that consistency and that visual credibility. A bonus point for you here would be to make your design mobile friendly. So many people are visiting websites on mobile these days, so get your phone out and actually test your website on your phone, not just the editor, the mobile editor on your website builder. Actually look at it on your phone and make sure it looks right, because if someone lands on your website on a phone first, you want to gain their credibility there as well. My takeaway for you here for this visual credibility element is that your brand doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be clean and simple and professional, because that is what builds trust and credibility. Okay, let's move right along. I'm going to use these same 2 websites for the messaging credibility. And we're going to start off with headlines. So here, SoulCycle says, "Welcome to SoulCycle." And then this one is even bigger, says the SoulCycle experience. And then we want to instantly communicate to people what your brand is and what it does in a really clear and simple way. So it says SoulCycle is a 45-minute high-intensity indoor cycling cardio workout. If we look over here at Taylor's, it's the title of her album, lets you know it's available now, and gives you a place to stream and download. Which brings me to my next point of making it easy to read, easy to follow, and giving a clear call to action. So Taylor does that all right here in this one little bit, and SoulCycle does as well. It says, "Welcome, get started, claim your offer right here. Here's what we are." A lot of times I see people trying to be creative and come up with fun, creative wording on your homepage. Build the credibility, let people know they have landed in the right spot and that you have what they need. So to wrap that up, my takeaway for building credibility through messaging is that strong messaging makes it easy for people to trust you, because they know exactly who you are and how you can help them. So my challenge to you is to go look at your own website homepage, just look at the very top of it and say, do I know, if I were an outsider, do I know who this person is and what they have to offer in just this one glance? If not, maybe it's time to make an update. My third credibility strategy is all about getting social proof or testimonials. Now, SoulCycle and Taylor Swift don't have testimonials on their homepage. I don't think we need testimonials for Taylor Swift at this point. So I found Monday.com, and I really love how they display their testimonials on their homepage. So this is kind of midway down on their homepage. They have this scroll here, not only scrolling of the quotes, but scrolling of just so much info. You can see here they have the brand logo, not just the brand name. They have some stats that they have helped the company achieve, a quote, the person's name, the person's headshot, and their title, and even a link to read more about the case study for this testimonial. That is just going all out, in my opinion. If you have testimonials on your site, that's great, but I would challenge you to really take them to the next level. Just having some pieces of text here and there that's like a nice little quote is great, but if you can pair it with somebody's headshot, their name, their brand or business name, and a link to that person's website, that's going to be even better and stronger and really help your website viewers gain trust in you through the testimonials of others. I also like to look at my own portfolio as the social proof for my own business. When people see that I've done websites for these big name clients, that also suddenly gives them this trust in me that, oh, if so-and-so has hired her to build their website, then, well, I can trust her to build my website, and I want her to build my website because so-and-so did, you know? So there are multiple ways that you can build trust through the words and the projects that you've done for others. So I highly recommend that you take a really good look at your website, your homepage, your portfolio, your products pages if you're selling products, and really add in quotes and testimonials from others wherever that you can. People trust proof. I mean, you and me included. How many times have you scrolled to the reviews on Amazon before you hit that pay button? We want to know that other people have bought it and that other people appreciate the product or service before we invest our own money in it, right? So give people that proof on your website. Quick recap here. Your visual credibility, you've got colors and fonts, images and consistency, and don't forget the mobile responsiveness. For messaging credibility, make sure you have a strong headline that is direct. Your text is easy and clear. Your text is easy to read, easy to follow, and that you have a strong call to action. And then finally, for your social proof credibility, make sure that you are using all assets that you have to showcases the voice of those that you've worked with or who have bought from you. Get all of their headshot, their name, title, use all of it, package it up nicely and neatly, and show it off. So now that you've seen these 3 credibility strategies in action, I want to know what one thing you're going to improve on your own website right now. Drop a comment and let me know, because I'd love to hear what stood out to you the most. And don't forget, this is just one part of my 7 Days to Website Success series. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to check out the other videos for even more actionable tips. And if you're wondering how to position yourself as the go-to expert in your field, don't miss my next video, because I'm going to be sharing how blogging can help you build authority, connect with your audience, and keep your visitors coming back to your site. Grab the free workbook if you haven't already, katherineforbes.com/7days, and I will see you in the next one.